Hello, welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings. Manchester City 2, Everton 0. Yeah, it's always disappointing to lose a game, but let's not go mental like some people seem to have gone in the last comments video. In the last comments of the video, it is what it is, and we move on to the game against Crystal Palace. Some good performances in the game. Wasn't all doom and gloom. For 70 minutes we did play pretty well defensively, in the defensive shape. Just in the final third we just didn't really have anything, sadly. Didn't get any set pieces, didn't get any corners. Yeah, and we move on. So let's have a little look at it. Jordan Pickford in goal. I only had to actually make one save, and I think that was a quite tame shot late on. Very little I think he could do with the goals. McPartland smashing it past them for the first one, certainly. In the second one, rolled it past them, but didn't have loads to do during the game, which is weird considering you're playing Manchester City at the Etihad. 48 touches of the ball, 63% pass accuracy, high claims 1, saves from inside the box 1. But yeah, very, very little to do. So, which is very, very strange. When you go to the Etihad, you'd expect him to be making saves all day, but he didn't. So, Jordan Pickford, I would say a 7. Ben Godfrey obviously went off after 56 minutes with an injury. Again, went off last week as well. Slightly worrying trend. I know last week the manager said it was obviously to do with cramp, but probably a bit more this week. So worrying one. He's coming to the side. He's done well. And I thought today, for the majority of the game, he done well. They were going down that side a lot of the time with Doku, and obviously him and Ashley Young were doubling up at times, or even like taking turns at times to stop him. But we nullified a lot of that before it even got there into the box. 3 clearances, 2 block shots, 1 tackle, ground duels won 2 out of 4, and aerial duels won 1 out of 7. And again, he just gives us that little bit of pace. He gives us the recovery. He's not the most sort of polished player in the world, but the manager is preferring him obviously to Patterson, and preferred him to Seamus today as well. Just show you this heat map there. Obviously not loads in the final third, but and you can see where he was defending at halfway in City's half. So yeah, he did all right. As I said, played just short of an hour. So I would give Ben Godfrey a 7. Did get like a bit of a knock early in the first half as well, didn't he? When he sort of collided with the goalkeeper. I don't know whether he played on with that, but maybe that caught up with him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see to see what they say to him. But that injury position, everyone who's played there this season seemed to have got injuries. You know, when you look at the other areas of the pitch, but like, it's a good job we've got 4 now, isn't it? Because players just seem to be picking up injuries playing there. I don't know what it is. Weird one. On the other side, Vitaly Mykolenko, again, pretty solid. 90 minutes. Only won one of his 5 duels, ground duels. Won none of his 3 aerial duels. But again, in terms of being compact, did well. Just show you this heat map here. A few more red areas, but again, not much in the final third. Don't forget all the stats being brought to you by SofaScore. There is a link in the description to download their app. If you wouldn't mind, please do. It really helps the channel out as a sponsor, but it needs everyone to download the actual app for us to earn any money off it. So if you're watching this and enjoy the videos, and you want some way to help us out, then just downloading that app, and it's great for the scores as well. Just putting the just getting your scores. If you have an app where you get your scores from, SofaScore's a pretty good one, because it not only gives you the scores, but you can find out basically everything about the game. Heat maps, where the shots would take. Literally every stat's on there. Every single stat is on there. And it's something I've been using on here for a while, to be honest. So, yeah, again, it's always hard when you play games like this, how you rank players, because they don't tend to have, they're not going to have big moments. They're going to play as a unit, and they're going to play defending the space as much as anything. So it's always hard to pick them out individually. So, Michalenko, yeah, I'd probably say a 7 as well, as was Ben Godfrey on the other side. James Tarkowski, again, loves a tackle, loves to get in people's faces. Ground duels won 3 out of 6. Aerial duels won 2 out of 2. Clearances 8. 2 block shots. 1 interception. 1 tackles. Only dribble past 1. 1 huge one in the first half late on with a big block. I think they checked it. The VAR checked if handball, but there was never a chance. And if you are given handball for that, then the game is truly finished. Yeah, again, big performance from him. Leads from example. No nonsense defender. Same things we say about him every single week. 56 touches, 86% pass accuracy. No shots on target. Disappointing. But we didn't have any set pieces, so it was hard for... would have been very hard. No corner certainly, so it would have been very hard for him. To show you this heat map here, as you can see there, loads of red in the box and out there on the right hand side as well. Obviously engaging, defending a little bit high up. So again, run through brick walls, always difficult when you play Manchester City. I would give James Tarkowski a 7.4 for today. Jared Brandwaite did very well today. It's just that people will look at the goal. People will look at the second goal, I imagine, and will maybe criticise from him, look at him, or people will, people on the outside maybe use that as a stick to beat him with or whatever. It was one moment in the game, wasn't it? He won 6 out of his 8 ground duels, 5 clearances, 2 blocks, 4 tackles. There was one in the box in the second half where he just got himself between the striker and the byline, let the ball roll, and then did this little turn and then played such a cool ball forward, only like 10-yard pass, but it was excellent to get us out. Jared Brandwaite was excellent in this game. Don't let that be lost just because of the second goal. The second goal, number one, we shouldn't be leaving ourselves one-on-one. We give the ball away far too easily in the final third. We're trying to get high up the pitch. We're 1-0 down. And we leave ourselves one-on-one. And the mistake Jared Brandwaite makes, I think, in this, is he engages Haaland when Haaland is on the run. I think more experienced defenders cut off the space. They go across and say, basically, well, beat me then. Beat me and beat the goalkeeper. And I think that's just a lesson where Brandwaite has to learn. It's something similar to what he did when he got sent off against Brentford before he went on loan, where he's engaged Ivan Toney. I think today he's genuinely thought that he's had to go and try and win the ball, And he's being out-muscled because Haaland is a monster when he's on the run. He's an absolute monster. And he's out-muscled him and then he slipped over. And it's made him look foolish because they've scored from it. I think if he cuts him off there, that's what a more experienced player would do. That's what you push the player wide. You push him to an area where... Yeah, I think someone like Toffee would push him as far as he can and then make the tackle. So listen, he has to learn from it, doesn't he? He has to learn from it, and we move on. He was good today. He was good today, and it's just one instance. And I hope people, I hope people on the outside think he's absolutely rubbish and don't want to sign him. If I'm honest, but it is one of those things, and it makes. It did make him look a little bit. It did make him look a little bit like, I don't know. It's a bit comical, isn't it, when you look at it? But if you look at his heat map here, again, red in the box, but red up the pitch as well. So I'm not going to have too much of a goal for that goal. It can happen to any player when they play against Haaland, especially an inexperienced player. And it's just one of those things. It is one of those things. Learn from it. Try not to do it again against someone like Haaland. I mean, and again, 95% of the time, that'll work against other players. But Haaland is so strong and so quick as well. His pace is ridiculous for a player of that size. So learn from it. Come back better and learn from it. So I would give Jared Branthwaite a 7.1 for today's performance. Into midfield, Idrissa Gana Gueye, who played 89 minutes. I thought he played well today, if I'm honest. I thought he played well, doing what he does every single game, which is getting out there to stop the opposition. He won 7 of his 12 ground duels today. Just show you this heat map there, a lot of it on the right hand side, which is mad considering that we had the players that we had out there, but over getting onto them, because they were obviously going down the wings quite a lot, and he was getting out there to press and to harry and make it really hard for them. And I thought again, he just does his job every single week. No fuss. Obviously picked up a booking, but he's just a no fuss player. And yeah, 6 tackles he made during the game. Only dribbled past once. And as I said, all in all, I thought he had a really good game. And there's been a lot said about him. He's been written off quite a lot by some of our fans. I think just wanting to get James Garner. Sometimes you get that. Sometimes you get Onana's in the team, and then you have a James Garner, and you have Decore, and people want the new things in there, or the fresh things, or obviously Idrissa Gana Gueye's passing isn't always amazing at times, or it doesn't always seem amazing, even though he has high pass percentages. I mean, what was his today? It was where's his pass percentages? I'm not seeing his pass percentages. It's 89%. 89% it was. There you go. So sometimes it looks like he's not great on the ball, but most of the time he really is. Sometimes he can just let himself down with a little 5-yard pass, can't he? But yeah, so I'd give it Idrissa Gana Gueye a 7.5. James Garner, again, job was the defensive one. Keeping in the shape, stopping Man City, getting through, stopping the pockets of space. He won 6 out of his 7 ground duels today. And it is all about stopping them playing. 5 tackles, 2 interceptions, 5 clearances, dribble attempts, 1 successful, 86% pass accuracy, And again, in terms of doing his job, has done his job. His heat map there again. Very, very, very defensive, as you can see. Never really got into their half, which was to be expected, really. Getting out to the wide areas on right and left, as you can see. Done his job. Again, if you ask players to do jobs, to be defensive, and they do them, then they've done their jobs. James Garner's role today wasn't to break forward. It wasn't to get into the final third. It was to stop Manchester City. And for the most part, he's done that. So, James Garner, I would give a 7.4. Jack Harrison, ahead of them. Never, again, difficult for him. 25 touches. Never massively got into the final third. Ground duels won 1 out of 2. 25 touches, 72% pass accuracy. No shots on target, 1 shot off target. It's always very difficult for a player like him in these kind of games, because they are just, again, they are waiting to break, and we didn't have opportunities to break. Or if we did, Dominic Calvert-Lewin didn't do well enough with the ball to get people like Jack Harrison into the game. So, tough day for him in the centre of the pitch. The sooner we get the Corey back, the better, just because he can play that role so much better. Tough one. Again, it's about stopping the opposition from playing, and that's not what you'd essentially look at Jack Harrison at being at his best. So I would give him Jack Harrison a 6.2. Ashley Young on the right hand side, 22 touches of the ball, 55% pass accuracy. Ground duels only 1 out of 5. Did a lot of defending for us today. Although his heat map shows him a lot higher up the pitch, just inside the Man City half. But he did do a lot of defending. Was on the pitch for 78 minutes. Again, it's tough, really tough for attacking players, especially someone who's 38. And that's our problem. We don't have attacking players. We've got the pace or simply good enough in the final third to create something to make a difference. He was essentially a second right back today. And when you are very limited in terms of in the final third, you need a bit more. So Ashley Young, I would give 6 for today. Dwight McNeil on the other side, 88 minutes again defensively. Defensively did all right. Ground duels won 2 out of 5. There's his heat map there, as you can see it. A lot in towards the left back position, but no real threat going forward, sadly. And that, again, I say that's our problem. That is the whole problem with this team is that it can defend, but it can't score goals. It doesn't have the pace. It's not good enough on the break because it doesn't have enough pace in the final third. When your midfield options are Dwight McNeil, Jack Harrison and Ashley Young, it just doesn't have doesn't have enough pace in the final third to break teams down, certainly not at Manchester City. So unless if you're going long, you need your centre forward to bring plays into the game, and we'll come on to Dom in a minute, but I don't think we had that today. And Dwight McNeil, Ashley Young and Jack Harrison found it really tough high up the pitch to get us into the game. They're not getting shots off. They're not getting crosses. Dwight McNeil, 1 dribble attempt. Shots on target, none. Shots off target, none. Shots blocked, 1. So, yeah, it is what it is. Until we get better players, or the manager maybe makes subs a little bit earlier. I'd have made maybe 4. Well, no, we brought on Seamus early on, but I think when we went 1-0 down, I'd maybe have brought on 3 subs then and changed it up completely to freshen it up. but he didn't. So Dwight McNeil, I'd give a 6.3. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 77 minutes, 2 shots off target. Had a really good opportunity in the first half to get, I think it was Jack Harrison in, and he sort of tried to chip the goalkeeper, and it wasn't great. It wasn't great. 28 touches of the ball. But what really let Dom down today was winning the ball and giving it to one of our players, which is basically the basics of being a centre forward if you have to play in this game. Dom has played in this formation quite a lot, and has had to do this job a lot of times. So he should be better at it. You know, if you're going to Manchester City and you're the lone striker, you're going to have to do a lot of hard work. You're going to have to go for a lot of duels in the air, which he won 4 out of 9 today. 1 of 3 ground duels. You know you're going to have to do a lot of hard work rather than getting shots on target or whatever. Which he didn't have any. He had 2 off target. But his distribution, I thought, was what let him down today. I think far too many times he had the ball in decent areas for us to break, and then he gave the ball away back to Manchester City. And that's demoralising if you're a player. If you're a centre-back or any defender and you're defending from large parts of the game and you're watching your centre-forward just give the ball away, it's demoralising because you work so hard. And I think he did that too much today. Just show you this heat map there. Not much of it in the box, of course. A lot over onto that right-hand side. Dealing with long balls and stuff. But obviously he's not going to be in the box loads because he's a lone striker and we didn't get in the box loads. But and here's his shots as well. One in the 15th minute there and one in the 46th minute, both on the outside of the box, both incredibly low XG on them as well. Again, these stats brought to you by the SofaScore app, which you can download now, helps the channel out for free. But that disappointed me today about his game, just the amount of times he lost the ball. You've got to be better. 33%. 6 accurate passes out of 18, so 1 in 3. That's not good enough, I don't think, for a centre forward in the Premier League. Where and I remember watching Dom, and I've said this like loads of times. I think Dom's breakout game as an Everton centre forward was against Manchester City in 2017. Wayne Rooney scored. We drew 1-1, and that night he was absolutely brilliant. He tore company a new one. He was brilliant. And honestly, for an all-round display, I don't think I've seen Dom play better in terms of a lone striker. He was immense that night. There was a freshness and an energy about him, and of course we are talking what, 7 years ago. And I've never seen him that good, I don't think, as a lone striker. He has to improve because the manager does not trust Beto, because Beto can't play as a lone striker like that. Beto can play down the channels, and we'll talk about him in a moment when he came on. He can play down the channels, but it's a different way of playing, and I think the one thing you need your centre forward to do, and I think he has been better late. I thought in the last 2 games he's done this a lot better, is hold on to the ball, keep the ball, get us into the game, allow a Dwight McNeil, a Harrison to get on the ball so we're higher up the pitch and we can go have a second phase. That's what you need to do when you play these teams. And that's what let us down today, and that's why we didn't force any corners, or we didn't get any set pieces. I think you've got to be better. So, and I think that's on the manager now to look at it and say, do I come on? Schmitty's come on with a minute to go. We're 2-0 down. I mean, should he be coming on early? Because Schmitty is the like for like. Schmitty is the like for like. I'm not advocating for Schmitty to start games. Very young, very raw. But maybe a bit more time. Schmitty is more the like for Dom. Beto is a completely different player. Completely different player than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think that's what we've got to recognise. If you're going to leave Dom out, I don't think it's for Beto if we're going to play like this. I think it's going to have to be for Schmitty. But that means the manager has got to start introducing Schmitty into the games earlier. So bringing him on in the 89th minute, I'm not sure about that. I'm not at all sure about that. But Schmitty is somebody who, as I said, has got attributes to when Dominic Calvert-Lewin was that age as well. So maybe bring him on with 15 minutes to go. People might say that's unfair on Beto, but Beto is a different kind of player, and yeah, I think the subs need to be a little bit earlier. So anyway, Dom, I would give a 5.9 for today, just because of the amount of times he gave the ball away. I think the manager addressed it he didn't mention him by name, but I think he addressed it in his interview after match, saying we give the ball away far too much. The subs, Seamus Coleman came on for Ben Godfrey, who I am reliably informed was ill, apparently. Has had a illness all week. He won 2 of his 5 ground duels. Never easy to come into one of these games. Just show you there's his heat map there. So again, similar sort of position, high up in the half, but yeah, came on, just didn't really offer too much. Just about keeping your shape. 23 touches, 60% at pass accuracy. Seamus, I would give a 6.1 for his appearance. Beto came on the 77th minute for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Had the ball in the back of the net. It was actually a really good strike. The only problem was he was 5 yards offside, but it was a good strike. Was offside another time where his Everton goal wasn't quite as good. So yeah. Nice finish, unfortunately, massively offside. Still massively raw, isn't he? He's just so raw when it comes to the Premier League. Even just, I look the way he runs at times and just think, even that just seems like not like what a footballer runs like. So, yeah, he was on the pitch for 13 minutes plus 10. So, yeah, Beto, I'd give a 6 for today's performance. The other subs, Onana came on as well, didn't he? Around the same time, came on for Ashley Young. Good to see him back. Touches 15. Ground duels 1 out of 1. Just show you. There's his heat map there. Over to the left-hand side in the centre of the pitch. Again, no real influence in the game because it's hard to have an influence in a game like this. So, ground duels, as I said, 1 out of 1 ground duel. No tackles. So, 6.3 for Onana. And the other subs, Schmitty came on, Dobbin came on, didn't really do anything, so I'm not going to really give them a score. So good to see we brought, I mean, Schmitty and Dobbin did play for 10 minutes, and it's good to see that they did get on the pitch. Dobbin had 6 touches of the ball. Schmitty had, Where are you? Schmidt was on for 12 minutes and didn't touch the ball once. Had 2 ground duels, didn't win either of them. So there you go. That tells you all you need to know about the game. But it's finished 2-0. Everton move on. We move on to Palace next week, and hopefully that's a huge game now. Week on Monday, we need to get something out of that, and hopefully we do, because that's where we are now. Al Ben on the super chat says we are Pladics. There you go. Do us a favour, make sure you download the SofaScore app. The link is in the description. Really helps the channel out. Loads of great stats there. It is free. It is actually a good app. I've just been using it, and I've been using it for ages. So it is a good app. It's a good app on your phone. Get all the stats from the game, but it just keeps you up to date with all the scores as well. So even if you just need a new score app, it's really good. And if you want more details on the game, it's just unbelievable amount of detail on it. So do us a favour, just download it. It helps the channel out. If you've already got it, delete it, download it again. It really does help the channel out. If there's one way you can really help the channel out, is by doing that. And we move on till next week. Make sure you check out Baz's videos, and join us on Monday when we'll be doing the final word. We'll be live on YouTube at 1 o'clock, and then we'll be doing the final word over on Toffee TV Premiere. We will be unpacking this game again. Let's see what next week holds for Everton. We'll wait and see. Thanks for watching. See you later.